All right, over a month of testing is done. Let's get these cameras cleaned up and talk about them. All right, welcome back. Sorry, fighting a cold here. Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're gonna be talking about the Eufy Cam E. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you probably saw that I got this over a month ago. I didn't want to rush into a review on this. I actually wanted to play around with this and really put the camera through the test. We're going to be comparing it today to the Arlo Pro 2, showing you guys some side-by-side comparisons of the two, talking about the pros and the cons of this camera, and then what my final thoughts are at the end. One thing I do want to mention is that Eufy did send me out these cameras to review. I did let them know that I'm not going to be pulling any punches with this review. I will be giving my honest opinion. So with that said, let's take a look at these cameras. All right, so let's talk about some of the highlights of this camera. The two biggest ones are that this camera boasts that it has 365 days of battery life. Now you're gonna see later in the video that is if you have it on optimal battery, but we'll get into that later. Another huge draw for this camera, it has no subscription, so all of the recordings are local to the base station on a micro SD card. Now the base station comes with a 16 gig card, which says is a year's worth of recording if the camera only has 10 recordings a day at a max of 30 seconds each. So realistically, you're not getting a year out of this thing. If you do swap it with your own SD card, it supports up to 128 gigs. So this camera also comes with all the standards, 1080p resolution, night vision, two-way communication. It is weatherproof with an IP65 rating and has a temperature range of -4 Fahrenheit all the way up to 122 Fahrenheit. It has a 140-degree field of view, which is non-adjustable. Another interesting feature that it has is it has an anti-theft alarm, meaning that if you turn that on and somebody moves the camera, the alarm will sound on the camera itself and also on the base station. It says that the alarm is 100 decibels, which is equivalent to a jackhammer. So we'll be testing that out later too. And lastly, it boasts military grade security on the SD card. I have tried pulling out the SD card, putting it into the computer, and the only message that I get is that this card needs to be formatted. So my computer cannot read the card. I'm only able to read that card through the app by downloading the clips to my phone and then from my phone onto the computer. All right, now that we talked about some of the highlights, let's see what's in the box. All right, let's take a look at what comes inside the box. We have got the base station here with the two cameras. Base station on the back has a slot for the SD card. We've got the network port. We've got the iQ power charger. So this is not for external hard drives. This is for charging the cameras at their fastest rate, which is what the USB cable here is for. Power going to the base station and then also the sync to sync the cameras up. And then back here is the speaker for the alarm. We have the cameras here, so the cameras do not open up. You cannot access those batteries. We've got the speaker and microphones down here. Take a look here. We've got two of the indoor mounts, so these are magnetic. We've got the screw and the anchors, and then we've also got the external outdoor mounts there. So take a look at the back of those. We've got the USB cable for charging, Ethernet cable for network connection, and then we've also got the power for the base there. Okay, now that we've seen what's come in the box, let's take a closer look at these two cameras side by side. So we've got the Eufy Cam E, and then over here we've got the Arlo Pro 2. All right, so if we take a look at these cameras side by side, we can see that the Eufy Cam is a bit bigger. Picking these cameras up, the Eufy Cam is actually twice as heavy as the Arlo Pro 2, but that probably has to do with the fact that there's so much battery in this one. Being able to run for almost a year is quite impressive. So if we take a look at the back of these cameras, we can see that they've got pretty similar features. They've got the magnets on the back. We've got a couple of screw mounts in the back, and then we've also got the charging ports back here. On the top back, they both have sync buttons. Looking on the bottom, we've got the speakers and microphones, and then we've also got a nice kind of rubber pad so these guys will not slide or anything like that. Now, a big difference with these two is that the Eufy Cam does not open up. So like the Arlo Pro 2, that opens up and you can actually remove the battery. You cannot do that with the Eufy Cam. One thing I found missing from the Eufy Cam app is that it doesn't show battery percentage. So I'm not really sure how much battery is actually left. So putting these cameras side by side in the backyard in a pretty heavy traffic area with the kids always out there playing around, the Arlo Pro 2 eventually ran out of battery, and at least from what I can see on the app, the Eufy Cam still has a full battery. Not really sure how fast that is eventually going to go down. It's hard to review a 1-year battery in a few months here, but as far as I can tell right now, the battery is holding strong. I've already had to recharge the Arlo Pro 2, and yet the Eufy Cam is doing great. Setting up these cameras are super easy. You're just going to download the app, follow the on-screen instructions for creating an account. Then from there, you're just going to connect the cameras to the base, and you're done. Now that we've gone through the setup, let's take a look at the app. We're going to go ahead and click on this. This looks very similar to Arlo. So if you're familiar with Arlo at all, it's got the same setup here. We've got the different cameras, the different functions that you see here, and when, battery levels and Wi-Fi levels. Let's go ahead and click on this backyard one. Click on play. This is going to show us a live view. All right, so that is a live view of the backyard. You can record a clip here. What is this one right here? Oh, that takes a picture. Oh, saved a photo album. You can hold this down to speak. It's muted right now, and then if you click on there, it's got a few different options. So this one will show you all of the activities that happened for that specific camera. Let's go back to more. So that's everything that's happened with the camera. Here is the night vision, which is on auto and it is off right now. We've got the siren that's off, and then we can go into the settings. In the settings here, you can see camera on, night vision on, microphone is on, camera's working mode. So the working mode here is that we've got optimal battery life, and this is what's going to have it last for the 1 year as advertised. But for optimal battery life, it's only got 20-second record times. And it says in this system automatically adjusts detection time periods to reduce the changes of detecting the same item twice in a short period of time. So that's where you're gonna get your 1 year battery life. If you wanna jump up to optimal surveillance, then it's going to do a 60-second recording, and the system will attempt to record each event for as much as possible, up to 60 seconds. And then we've got the customized one here. Video clip length and detection periods can be customized. Customized mode. So let's go in here and take a look at the customized modes. Oops, we're gonna click on a little guy here. So video clip length, we can go up to 120 seconds. Retry level, this would be how much time to wait before recording the next one. And then end clips early if motion stops. That's just to help to save on battery life there. So let's jump back out. We can go to motion detection. I have both mine set to 60 right now. I don't want it to have a light when it detects motion. I just want it to start recording. Back out of there, anti-theft detection, that if you click this button and somebody were to move the camera, it is going to set off the alarm on the camera, which is pretty cool. We will demo that later in the video. You can connect these to a NAS, which is awesome. I have not done that, but you do have that option of connecting to a NAS. And then we've got device info and monitoring guides. So this will be kind of videos on how to set those guys up. Let's back out of all of this, go back to the front page. So what we were in is the little gear that you see right here. We were in there for the back door. That's going through everything. So if we click on events, we can see all the events just like Arlo that are going through here. We've got everything. Since we just clicked on it for the backyard, we're just seeing backyard stuff. Let's go back for devices. And then we've got the different modes. So we've got home, away, and scheduled. This is where you can customize the mode that you want to be in. So when you're home, do this. When you're away, do that. And then you can have it scheduled between different times. If we just want to take a quick look, we can set up the cameras individually. I have it set to when I'm at home, record, but don't send me a text, which I really like. When I'm at home and I'm getting tons of notifications on here, I don't want a notification. So that's perfect on there. Let's back out of this. And then for away, well, either one here, when it is in away mode, we've got record video, send me a text, and then also sound the alarm if something is triggered on the camera. So that's the app right there. It is almost a simpler version of what the Arlo one is, which I actually like more. Simple is better. I just give me to what I want, show me what I need, let me get what I want, and just move on. Okay, so let's start at taking a look at some of the footage from the Eufy Cam. Right off the bat, I was impressed with how vibrant the image quality was. It had great colors and a really good 1080 image. Now, if we take a look at the two images side by side with the Pro 2, we can see that the Eufy Cam is right on par with the Pro 2, if not a little bit better. We got a bunch of different outside shots here of us in the backyard. Next up, I wanted to test the night vision. So here is a shot at night with the two cameras. and I thought that the Eufy Cam had much better night vision distance. You can see a lot more further away, but here's the comparison between the two of those cameras. Comparing audio between the two cameras is a night and day difference. The Arlo Pro 2 has awful audio. The audio is no good. I don't like it at all. It's really hard to hear and kind of grainy sometimes, but the Eufy Cam has amazing audio. It can pick up audio from really far away. You can hear it nice and crisp. The audio is exceptionally good on the Eufy Cam.
See these two cameras? Yeah, two kitties all by themselves.
Okay, so I've turned on the anti-theft system with the camera, so once we move it, the alarm should go off. I've never tested this before. This is gonna be my first time. Avery is going to help me out, so let's see what happens. Okay.
What's gonna happen?
Go grab that camera, this camera. It might be loud.
What? What?
Nothing. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Okay, I hear it going off in the house too. It actually isn't too loud out here, at least it's not as loud as I thought it would be for 100 decibels, but I could easily hear it inside too, and it's pretty loud inside. You have to go into the app, turn it off, but there's an example of what the alarm sounds like. Okay, so I've taken the Fire TV stick, connected it to the monitor behind me, have that all loaded up. If you guys want to know more about this, I'm working on a video on connecting all this stuff together. I will link it above once it's ready. Echo, show Yiffy backyard. All right, so there we go. You can see it back here on the thing. It'll show up here, and this will work on your TV or whatever you have your Fire TV stick plugged into. Okay, so now let's talk about the cons of the camera. So one thing that I noticed was that in the middle of motion, the camera would just stop recording. So I would be right in front of the camera, talking to the camera, doing some tests. I have it set to record up to a minute long, and within 20 seconds to 30 seconds, it would just stop the recording. So that is one problem that I saw with the camera. Another problem that I noticed, which isn't necessarily a deal breaker considering this is a security camera, is that the audio doesn't sync with the video, especially when you download it to your phone. So I noticed that there was maybe a 1 second delay between the audio and video when I'm looking at it through the app. But once I download that to my phone, it became more of a 3 to 4 second delay of the audio playing before the video. This is an audio test with the Eufy Cam E. Now, while that may look ugly, I don't know how much of a strike it is against the camera, because that is something that can be fixed in software updates. And for a few of you that I talk to, audio isn't that big of a deal. You mostly are buying these for the camera. So keep that in mind. As of right now, audio and video are a little bit off when downloading it to your phone. I did reach out to the rep at Eufy, and they said that they are working on these and that it should be fixed in a future update. So that's always positive news. So do keep that in mind with the review. And you know what I'll actually do is I will put in the description when that part gets fixed. Other than those two things, there's not a whole lot of con with this camera. This camera has some great features. I love the app. Typically with a lot of these newer camera systems that are coming into the market that I've seen, the companies really seem to skimp on the app, and the app is always the biggest problem I find with a lot of these cameras. But I would say by far, outside of the major cameras, the Arlos, the Rings, the Nests, this has got to be the best app that I've seen. So I'm really happy with that with the camera. It's got a ton of potential. As a company that is new to security cameras, I would definitely applaud what they are doing. They are really hitting a good portion of the market that don't want to be forced into a cloud subscription or hosting their things on the cloud or anything like that. Everything is hosted locally, which is nice. It has a maximum 365-day battery, which is awesome. An amazing app. There are a few bugs that they need to iron out, but as far as the hardware goes with this thing, solid. I really do like it. If you guys are in the market for this camera, I would say you can't go wrong with it. This is a good solid camera. I do like it, and this is something that I'm going to be recommending to people. If they want a camera that is good quality, good hardware, a great app, is off of the cloud, and something that you can control within your own environment. Well guys, I hope this review was helpful for you. If so, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. As always, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.